Hello, America, and welcome back to another episode of To Hear Me Tell It, the life and times of Jerry Daniels. When you've had your daily dose of today's craziness, dealing with all them Karens out there, ride shotgun with old JD as he goes back and recounts the life and times of growing up in the South during the 60s and 70s. I believe we were called baby boomers. Stories that you will say, yep, I done that, but I ain't gonna tell my kids. And I ain't never told my spouse. But whatever the truth be, it will be this, to hear me tell it. Well, good morning, folks, and welcome to another episode of To Hear Me Tell It. Yep, I think today is let me look at my notes here. I think today is let me write it down just to be sure. I think today is number 141, if I'm correct. So, thanks always to those who are joining. You know, I want to say something really nice like, y'all must be just miserably bored to listen to Jerry Daniels talk, but I'm not. I'm humble. Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all doing it. I appreciate it. I guess this is a hobby. I don't know. Laura says I need lots of hobbies. I got enough damn hobbies. All right, so I want to start by saying thanks for all the prayers that were lifted up to Mike Posey. I even talked to a feller the other day. He's a local guy. And when I brought up Mike, he goes, "Oh, that's the guy you talked about on your podcast." I'm shaking the desk. "That's the guy that was you talked about on your podcast." He said, "Me and Teresa prayed for him." I said, "Well, thank you, Chris. I appreciate that." So I went to see Mike last Thursday, I think. Yeah, last Thursday. And I went to Grady Hospital to see Mike. And seeing Mike was like, I think somebody wrote a book, but anyway, but seeing Mike was like a nice bowl of hot chicken noodle soup because it was good for my soul. It was. I had not seen Mike in quite some time, and I was glad to see him. And I'm going to confess, profess, whatever, but I'm going to confess, I do not deal well with that. I don't deal well with going with hospitals and seeing folks. I didn't deal with it going to see mom and daddy. I don't know. It's outside of my comfort zone. I feel inept. I feel inadequate. I feel like I don't know what to say. And so it's out of my comfort zone to do that. But I really felt led, and I really wanted to go see Mike, and I did. And it was an adventure. That is the first time, y'all, that I have ever been to Grady Hospital in Atlanta, Georgia. Michael and Darlene probably listen to this, but I'll tell you, I wasn't looking forward to going to Grady. I don't look forward to going to Atlanta for anything because I have to go down there every so many years to recertify my OSHA certifications and whatever else, but I don't like going to Atlanta. It's a freaking Sin City cesspool, and it's a bunch of racist people down there. So I don't like going down there. I got all parked and whatnot, and had to walk from the parking garage over to the entrance to the hospital, and it was a freak show, y'all. I mean, the amount of women who are grotesquely overweight, I guess by self-induced, behaviors, but are out in the public, walking the street, wearing nothing but fuzzy slippers, and I'm not making this up. And they're wearing their damn pajamas, top and bottom matching, just pajamas. They're just pajamas. They're not even, they're stuff you sleep in. They're just pajamas. I guess they just get out of bed wearing their pajamas and just walk out the door. It's a different world we live in. And from walking from the parking garage, even driving, but walking from the parking garage to the front door of Grady, the amount of profanity and people slinging that N-word toward each other. But it was like, really? It was like a different culture. It's pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. So, anyway. All right. So I went to see Mike, and I got on the 8th floor, and when I got there, Jesse was at the door and said that Mike was in there using the restroom with Darlene's assistant. And anyway, and I got in there, and the first thing I said, Mike, I said, well, brother, you look a sad bit better than that guy out there in the hall. And the 8th floor at Grady is folks that are recovering from strokes. And there was a guy walking out there. He was far younger than me. That old boy looked like he was in his 40s. And I'm assuming he had a stroke, but he was trying to walk. So he had assistance. Looked like his wife was there with him and whatnot. And anyway, his hair was all, it was all jacked up, you know. He had serious bedhead, like, phew. And my first thought was, damn, don't he know about, wearing a ball cap? You can wear a ball cap and make that problem go away. Trump does it. I do it. I always wear a ball cap when my hair's jacked up. But I walked in there and I seen Mike, and Mike keeps his hair cut real short, and age has got him like me, and he's got like a bald spot going on. But I said, dude, you look a lot better than that guy out there, because you ain't got that hair thing going on. So it was a good visit. I brought him some honey and honeycomb, and it was my honor and privilege to do that. And Darlene said it was really good because it soothed his throat from they put that thing down in there. But it was good to see Mike. It was good to see Darlene and talk to his daughter as well. We talked about a lot of things. We laughed about a lot of things. And I'm going to confess, because I know Mike and Darlene listened to it. 2 times during the conversation, I said, oh, that's a podcast. And I damn forgot it already. Already I have forgotten, because I don't write it down. And I guarantee you Mike Posey remembers it, and Darlene. They remembered it because they got good memories. But, yeah, I said, ooh, that's a podcast. It was something he said. Man, it was so damn funny. Had something to do with ducks, I think, or bees. I forget what it was. Something about the pond. But anyway, I forgot it. I'm sorry, y'all. And if you remind me, then because it was worthy, I'll do something about it. So, all right, I'm already at 6 minutes. Thank y'all. Continue to pray for Mike. My understanding is he's going to be moved today to go to Macon for more therapy. So, man, it breaks my heart. Anyway, it hurts me. It hurts me. But seeing him was good for my soul. It helped me. I am sad to report. I'm going to talk about the honeybees. I'm sad to report that I need to get rid of the bees. All of them. I love it. It is a very rewarding fruit for labor. But according to my neighbor, my bees are a problem for them in their swimming pool. So rather than argue, which I'm not, rather than try to shed light on logic, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to be a good neighbor and say, okay, and I'll get rid of them. So if y'all know anybody that wants to get into beekeeping, I'm happy to mentor and coach them. But I've got 6 strong, productive hives that are for sale. And an ass load. I don't know the mathematical formula for an ass load, but it's bigger than a snootful and a mess. So I don't know what the OP used to catch a mess fish or a snootful paw and all that mess. But I've got a lot of equipment, a lot of supplies, a lot of drawn comb, which is very valuable. So if you know anybody that wants to buy beehives, share it when they're welcome to come get them. So, and it breaks my heart, but I got to do it. I'm going to do it because, and I have a lot of people go, you tell your neighbor. I said, no. I'm a Christian, and I'm a fellow American, and I'm not doing that. So I'm not going to do that, and I'll just focus on being a good neighbor. So that I'm going to leave it at that. All right, the chickens. The chickens are a damn hoot, y'all. Let me tell y'all something. They are beyond funny. And as of yesterday, it is apparent to me, I think I got a second rooster. So Esther, the little Easter egger chicken that I bought at a frickin' farmer's market, looked like she's had her ass whooped and been drunk for a month. Now she's grown up and she's almost 11 weeks old and she's got all her feathers and stuff. And now I kept noticing, boy, her tail really stays jacked up and is getting this long thing going on. and she's starting to get her wattles, and she's starting to get a comb a little bit quicker than what I thought she would at that age. Well, yesterday she tried to crow, and then she crowed pretty loud. And I thought, huh. I asked Jasper, I said, Jasper, my other rooster, I said, Jasper, you hear that? Of course, he puffed up when he heard it. Well, this morning in the coop, before they even got out, you know, 6:05 or whatever it is, Jasper starts crowing, and the coop door's not open yet, so they can't come out. But he starts crowing, and I got it on video, and little old Esther, I guess, is now named Chester. And Chester starts showing Jasper, well, I too can crow. And he starts trying, but he's kind of weak, and he ain't learned how to do it yet. But I may have 2 roosters. And I really think I'm going to end up getting rid of both of them because, I'm not going to be a bad neighbor. I got neighbors, and they don't want to hear my damn chickens, I'm sure. So I ordered a fan. It's kind of hot. Y'all know it. It's hot. Last week was hot as blazing Jimmy's. So I ordered like a little, it's like a 10-inch by 10-inch 2-louver fan. I bought it from Home Depot. I'm going to install that. It's supposed to be delivered today or tomorrow, but I'm going to install that in the chicken coop. And I bought a remote control thermostat that I can set a certain thing and then turn it on, and then it'll get a good draft going through there because I don't want them to overheat. Even though I do keep water in their coop, so when they're in there at night, if anybody's inclined to like, shit, I got to get something to drink, at least they can get some. But they're well watered, to say the least. So I'm going to put a fan in there. And I don't know what this note means. You ever wrote a note and you don't know what it means? I wrote a note. I don't even know what it damn means. But I'll come to it. But anyway, I was lucky to get into an egg candling class. So if you go to the Georgia Department of Agriculture's website and you try to find a candling class, because in order to sell your eggs to anybody, you got to have a candling class. So I'm going to sell some eggs. I am. I'm not going to be mass, whatever. But I'm going to sell some eggs because we'll have so many. But I do want to be safe, so I want to learn. So I'm going to take a candling class. And I went on the website to look it up. And all I can tell you right now, it evidently is one of the most popular damn things in Georgia. Because every class was full, with the exception of down like October, November in Savannah, Georgia, or Kings Bay, or Valdosta, or somewhere south. Those classes had some openings, but everything up here was full. Anything from mid-Georgia all the way up. Hell, I'd say 2/3 of the northern part of Georgia, you can't find a damn a candling class to take. So I just said, it never hurts to ask, even though on the website it says classes are full, do not ask, do not register, don't ask for a standby. I asked. And I shot out several emails to a bunch of locations, and I asked, and I got a favorable response because a lady named Miss Adams was very helpfully in Perry, Georgia. She said, just go ahead and show up. They ain't going to turn you away. I said, excellent. So I'm going to take a candling class in August in Perry, Georgia. And I still have a note here. It says bedding. I don't even know what that means. Chickens, bedding. Okay, well, I'll just skip it because I don't remember. Maybe I'll come back to it. All right. Hadn't seen any more bears. That's good news. So no more bears have been on the Daniels' property. All right. So, boy, I wish I could remember what bedding was. Dang it. Anyway, it is what it is. Here's good news. I still have my mic holder, and where are we at? And there we go. Oh, over here. There we go. I got my coffee cup. I didn't lose it. Let me remember the other day I did one. I lost my damn coffee cup. I never told y'all, but the coffee cup was right on the other side of the monitor. I couldn't see it because I got two big, huge monitors here, so I couldn't see it. So anyway, man, chickens, bedding. Boy, that bothers me. Oh well. All right. I'll talk about a couple of things, and some of it's going to be political. That's what Jerry does. The big beautiful bill, which I hate that name. It's stupid. It's stupid. I mean, Donald Trump's a great president. I think he is a great president. But he says some stuff that I'm not going to bash him. I told y'all, I don't think he should have dropped the F-bomb the other day. And it comes up with all these catch names, and I know it's probably, it's anyway. Like he came up with that new thing. What was it called? The alligator Alcatraz. I think that was pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And I thought about the movie Cool Hand Luke. People want to talk about being in prison and be rough times. Yeah, go stay in them prisons they had back then. Cool Hand Luke. It anyway, the alligator Alcatraz. I like that. I think that's pretty cool. So it's effective. I bet it's going to be. But the big beautiful bill. I don't care what they call it. You know what? I just want our government, and I think most conservatives and most moderates. I can't speak on behalf of the Democrats because I've lost all faith in them people. I think there's something wrong upstairs with them people, man, and their soul. I think they got an evil spirit about them. There's something wrong with Democrats. But I think most people want their government to be honest. Matter of fact, I expect my government to be honest. I expect them to be honest. I expect them to have a sense of morality and ethics about themselves. It's still staggering to me the likes of AOC can come out of nowhere, get elected, was a bartender in New York City, and then she's a congressman. In the first week, she runs around with her little microphone trying to find people, and she's bitching and whining about she can't afford to live there and all this stuff, and she keeps telling everybody she's a Bronx girl. And that's all come out here recently. The girl's a fraud. I knew she was a fraud from day one. I knew that because I have instinct. But she's a fraud. She is an absolute, utter fraud. And most socialists are. Socialists and communists that rise to power are frauds. And they sell Kool-Aid to the lost sheep who will drink anything they give them because they're sheep. But she's a fraud. She's now been fully exposed. And for years, she's told everybody, I'm a Bronx girl. I'm a Bronx girl. No, you're not. You was a little rich girl that lived in a rich suburb, which is a nice place, nice little place, about an hour north of New York City. Really nice place. But that's where she's from. She ain't nothing she says she is. She's an absolute fraud con artist. That's Sandy. Sandy's her name. They called her Sandy in school. Sandy, Buffy, whatever. Sandy. So, yep, Sandy's a fraud, and she's been exposed, and she's loving that new dude who's he stands a good chance of winning the mayor of New York City. And I tell y'all what, I feel sorry for you. And nobody from New York City is ever going to listen to this. I don't give a damn. And if you did, I still don't give a damn. If you people in New York City elect, what's his name? Mamdani. If you elect this guy, Mamdani, who just moved to America like some 6, 7, 8 years ago, he is a professed Muslim, radical Muslim communist. Y'all elect him, you're going to get what you get. And if anybody believes, which they're the really low IQ people. It's easy to feed dumb sheep Kool-Aid. It's really easy, really easy. But if you believe that having a local government-run grocery store is going to be good for you in your community, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. If you believe that raising minimum wage to $30 an hour is going to solve something, you're an idiot. Pure and simple. There's no such thing as a free lunch. It never has been, never will be. Go to Venezuela and ask those people. Go to Cuba, ask those people. Go to China, ask those people. Go to any place. There has never on this planet been a country that has prospered from socialism and communism. Never. Not one. North Korea, Vietnam, never. 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 Okay. All right. So I'll scratch that off. I watched, and I do. I watch Fox News a lot, but I watch other news. See, I don't. A lot of people, you only watch my kids too. You only watch Fox News? No, I watch other news because I want to see what the other side is saying, and it's staggering at the spin that the liberals put on everything they say. Fox News is just fair and balanced. It's the truth, and they just lay it out there. And they'll let you decide. But the other ones are like, oh, they'll tell you what to think. So I was watching, what do they call it? The Five? Yeah, at 5 p.m. Fox 5, whatever it's called. Anyway, and Greg Guffill's on there. He's hilarious. And Greg and I think a lot alike. That's kind of scary, I guess. For him, for me, I don't know. He don't know me, but he needs to meet me. Greg Gutfeld needs to meet Jerry Daniels before he passes away. But old Greg was talking, and I watched him the other night. And before he even got on the segment, because they was talking about that trial that's going on with Diddy or whatever that guy's name, I know absolutely that much about that. And if you're just listening to the podcast, you can't see me hold my fingers up. It's like zip. You can't even see the space between it. I don't know anything about it. I know the guy's what was or is a rapper. I know he talks a lot of bad trash. I don't think he's got a good spirit about himself. I don't think he's morally grounded at all. And apparently, and this is just me, this is my understanding. Apparently, he was, living the life of what they call the famous people. And the old boy was hosting all these parties, and they were sex parties, and somehow or another, a lot of baby oil got into it. I don't know, and don't care. They're all perverts. Anybody that lives a life, Sodom and Gomorrah, but anybody that lives like that, they're going to get with you on. If you hang around shit long enough, you stink, you look like shit, you smell like shit because you hang around shit. But anyway, evidently racketeering and RICO Act and sexual perversion, apparently, again, this is what my understanding is he was having all these sex parties and he had a lot of wealthy people in there, maybe some politicians, I don't know. But he was secretly videotaping all this crap or a lot of it. And then all this blew up. He went to court and all the kind. Here's the bottom line. Here's what Greg said too. And Fox News, shame on y'all. Y'all spent 20 minutes covering this bullshit because it was like they're here and they're going to come out on the streets of the courthouse. And guess what? Newsflash. America doesn't care. Y'all spent 20 minutes on tabloid trash. America, and that's what Greg said at the end. America doesn't care. I don't care. If I never hear anything about it, I don't care about that dude and any of the crap or I don't care if he walks free. I don't care. So, all right. Two more things. I'm already at 21 minutes. I'm really going to work hard for y'all to keep this under 30 minutes. Still can't figure out what chicken bedding meant. Bedding. 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 I don't know. I'll get to it. Hopefully it'll pop up. All right. The bombing of the Iranian nuclear facilities. It's hilarious. And I've watched a number of the interviews and stuff, and right after it happened, and evidently there was been a leak already from one of the congressional leaders who was privileged to the debriefing in the skiff. But I find it dadgum laughably, is that a word? I don't know. Laughable? I find it laughable that some of these liberal reporters are asking the White House spokesman some really dumbass questions. So, and the left doesn't go, wow, because Donald Trump's a man of action. He ain't fooling around. And he did it. He executed it. Me being a retired military guy, I think he had a great execution. And then, of course, you want to measure your success. Well, it's hard to measure the success and the effects of bombs that penetrate some 30 or 40 meters below the surface before they go high order and detonate. And you can't get down there to see what the impact was. It's hard to measure that. But all these reporters are going, well, how do you know it was effective? And then when they say, well, we have all this intelligence, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, but do you have pictures? So they don't focus on the fact that he did it. He did it well. They maintained their secrecy, so OPSEC worked. But they don't talk about the precision, the success of the Air Force bombing crews. They don't talk about anything positive. They just pick at something, hoping to make a sore, so they can have a sore to talk about next week. I don't know. So they keep on about it. And now even that little old, I can't stand that girl on the 5. Her name Jessica, whatever her name is. That girl is absolutely, she's too stupid to fight herself out of a wet paper bag. That girl is pathetic. But she's like, she was the whack job that goes, oh, I think that the SWAT team people and the ICE agents, I think they wear masks to cover their face because they're embarrassed about what they're doing. That's one of the things you go, can you hear yourself talk? Because do you realize what you just said? So I watched an art. I know I'm going to squirrel. I got to get back over here. But I watched a news article this morning And they were showing that the impact, because there's always, nothing happens in a vacuum. There's always the unintended consequences. There's always the laws of physics. There's always the opposite and equal reaction to an action, all that kind of stuff. So they were actually interviewing local business owners along just south of the Mexican border, where all these migrants were flushing through, and they were all thanking and praising the Americans for, thank you for closing your border. We don't have all this frickin' problem anymore. Crime rates go down, all this kind of stuff. But in that news article, it showed the Mexican police. And if you go and watch anything about the Mexican police, they all wear masks. Why? Because the cartel will kill them. That's right. So here we are in the year 2025, and we have our local law enforcement officers that are federals and are arresting all these criminals that have come here illegally and doing their raids, whether it's drug raids, ICE raids, whatever it is, doesn't matter. I'm all behind it. But they're wearing their face covered. Why? Because the safety and the security of them and their family. And the woke can't figure that out. They can't figure it out. They make it up. Anyway, they can't figure it out. All right. So anyway, so Jessica, whatever her name is, she was talking about the Iran bombing thing, and then she's already picked up on this little punchline. Well, we saw those pictures, and we heard people saying that there was a line of trucks lined up at the gate going down in there, and now they say, it's just hearsay, they say all this enriched uranium has now disappeared. Okay, maybe those trucks were there to get the enriched uranium. I'm just going to, for the sake of this conversation, maybe those trucks got that enriched uranium and took it somewhere. Maybe they did. But you know what? Maybe, Jessica, maybe. And she's like, and she said this, she goes, I think that's more important. We need to know where it went. Well, no, darling, you don't need to know where it went, and neither do I. You know why? Because just maybe, Jessica, just for the purpose, again, it's just a smidget of a doubt, but maybe our government's smarter than me and you, meaning our new administration, meaning our new Department of Defense folks. Maybe they purposely said, we'll give them time to get it out. And then when they get it out, maybe we got people inside. Maybe we know how to track it and know where it's going. Maybe we'll find out there's other people got their hands in this pot. See, Jessica, you're one of those people that you think you're the smartest person in the room. I ain't the smartest person in the room. I ain't remotely close to being the smartest person in the room, but I know that. You don't. So maybe, Miss Jessica, this is a note for you. Maybe, you know what? Because Donald Trump's a chess player. He's always 3 steps ahead of everybody. Maybe he purposely allowed the enriched uranium to come out of that freaking place. Maybe we're tracking it. Do you think, Jessica, for a smidgen of a doubt, do you think maybe if they did that they would tell you or me? Not likely. So just hush. Stay in your wheelhouse. You're too stupid to even have conversations about this stuff. But anyway, I just find it, again, laughable. It's entertaining to watch all these liberals act like they're Monday morning quarterbacking military operations, and then they even say stupid shit like, well, the public has a right to know. You know what? The government, our government, a conservative government, this administration right here, which I trust for the most part. First of all, I don't trust all the government, but I trust this one more than I do most, especially Pete and the gang. I trust the fact that they'll tell us what we need to know in good time and due time. Okay? All right. Enough about the Iran bombing. Oh, and I love this one. I say enough. I want to go and get back because I saw another note here. But I love this one is they say, well, what are you going to do? What are you going to do if it wasn't effective? And I thought about something. And I thought, you know what? If what we did wasn't effective, well, then do it again. They go, well, what, they're going to be up and running in 3 months. Okay, we'll hit them back twice as hard and then make that pain come back. So if a dude, like if you got a guy, for instance, and this is off the top of my head. If you got this old boy looking in your window at night, he's a pervert. Maybe he's kin to Diddy, I don't know. But you got this pervert looking in your window and you see him and you rear back and you throw a brick through the glass window and you hit him in the face. And the police come and arrest him. And he starts mouthing off that he going to come back. He going to come back when he heals up or something. I'd say, well, good, come on back. Going to hit you with more than a brick next time there, cuz. Come on back. If you don't think the brick in your face was effective in getting arrested, when you heal on up, you want to come back again, come on back. It will not be a brick next time. So that's what I would say. So anyway, tell all the woke liberals to hush. Okay, 2 more things. I'm already at 30 minutes, so I ain't going to make it. Going back to the big, beautiful bill, and I kind of jumped off that, but going back to the big, beautiful bill, I wish it was a different name. That's irrelevant. We do expect our government to be honest and to be good stewards of the damn money they take from us. But there was something in there that I was really tracking, other than the tax cuts and the no tips on overtime and no tips on I keep saying no tips. I'm sorry. No taxes on overtime, no taxes on tips. They shouldn't have 2 words that start with T. I'm really screwing that up. No taxes on overtime, no taxes on this. And they got all these other cuts, and all the liberals are spending it like, oh, it's going to give the wealthy the greatest it's going to, don't listen to liberals. Don't. They're all liars. So anyway, there's a lot of good stuff in it. And they're talking about, oh, it's going to cut Medicare. It's going to cut Medicare fraud. That's what it's going to cut. It's going to cut Medicare fraud. I was amazed. I did some reading. I was amazed at the number of people in this country who are on Medicare that just moved here, ain't never paid a damn penny into it, that get Medicare. And the number of Americans that are here that most likely didn't pay a whole lot into it, if anything, they're on Medicare. And here they're twice as young as me, but they're able-bodied. It's fraud. It's waste and abuse. So you damn right. Get the ticks off the dog, and the dog does better. So anyway, there was something in there about the ATF, and it was about the $200 tax stamp. Now, I've talked about this before, but right now, until all this gets passed, if you want to own a short-barreled rifle, or you want to own a suppressor, not a silencer, a suppressor, if you want to own one of those things, you have to register it. You got to go through all this freaking paperwork to register it. And there was a financial burden. You had to pay a $200 tax fee. Imagine that, $200 tax fee. Well, let me jump over here. And, well, I don't have to jump too far over there. It's right over there. But, for the purpose of this conversation, we're going to do a little re-education. So imagine this. So somebody listening to this may go, well, Jerry, I don't know what a short barrel rifle is. It is a rifle that has a stock that you can stock on your shoulder. It's a rifle. You can hold it up just like a rifle. But the barrel on that rifle, if it is less than 16 inches, then it is deemed a short barrel rifle. So imagine this. It's just a regular rifle if the barrel's 16 inches. Doesn't require any paperwork and all this other. You got to get a background check, obviously, but you can buy it without all this special registration. You don't have to register it. And like in the state of Georgia, you can be 18 years old. You'll still get a background check, and it will be more extensive than the average person who's over the age of 21. Because if you're under the age of 18 in the state of Georgia and you buy a rifle or a shotgun, you're going to get delayed at least 2 weeks at a minimum so they can do a background check on you. Because now they go back and they look at all the juvenile records, which is good. I'm okay with that to a point. It still bothers me. But I get it. I hate to say that. That sounds like I'm caving into the woke, but I get it. And here's what, and that shouldn't be the solution. It should be a temporary fix. What should happen is anybody's juvenile record should immediately follow them into adulthood for certain reasons. So you shouldn't just go, well, now I'm 21 and nobody can look at what I did when I was 16 and 17. No, you should still have that. It's part of your record. It's part of your record. Your record don't stop and then start a new one when you turn 18 years old. So any person can walk into a store in the state of Georgia at the age of 18 or older, but let's just talk about 18 years old, and you can purchase a rifle, whose barrel is greater than 16 inches. You can buy a shotgun. Again, it's got to have a barrel greater than 18 and a half inches, I think, or 18 or 18 and a half. And you don't have to do a bunch of stuff other than the normal stuff. But the ATF and the ATF and all these woke people, they have deemed it, and it's just sheer crap they pull out of their ass, that a rifle is more dangerous if the barrel is less than 18 inches. 16 inches. A rifle, 16 inches. So I said 18 for the shotgun. But anyway, so a rifle. So if you have a rifle stock, you can put it on your shoulder, and the barrel is 15 inches. Oh, my God, that's a short-barreled rifle. Y'all, look at my hand. Folks who are looking at YouTube instead of podcast. We're talking 1 inch. Where's my damn ruler? I know I got a ruler. Told you I had a ruler. There's a ruler. There it is. There's 1 inch. Can you see that? Maybe, maybe not. There it is. 1 inch. 1 inch, y'all. I got it upside down. There it is. 1 inch. Right there. So if that rifle barrel, let my camera refocus here. Sorry about that. Learning a lot, ain't I? Whoa. There we go. All right, so if the rifle barrel is anything shorter than 16 inches, it's considered a dangerous weapon. That doesn't make sense. I'm a common sense guy. That doesn't make sense. So the ATF says, well, you need to buy a $200 tax stamp. You got to pay a $200 tax stamps, and you got to register it a certain way. You got to go through a lot more background check. And then there's the suppressor. The suppressor as well. So if you own a suppressor, then before, and right now it's still in play until this thing gets passed, you had to pay a $200 tax stamp, and you got to do all this crap to get it registered. And it can't be just something you buy and you sell to somebody or give to somebody. You can't do that either. Once you register it, you get what's called an approved Form 4. Then it's painful to get rid of the damn thing. It is. You can't just, they'll tell you got to destroy it and prove it and all this other kind of crap. But, and I talked about this before, a suppressor is not a silencer. So, again, for those who may not know this, when you fire a firearm, let's just talk about a rifle or a pistol, that loud crack, that is the bullet exiting the muzzle, and it's moving supersonic, meaning it's going faster than 1,100 feet per second, and it's supersonic, and it's breaking the sound barrier. If you use a suppressor on a firearm and the ammunition is still supersonic, the suppressor doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Why? Because the bullet's still going to go out the end of the suppressor, and it's still going to have that loud crack because the suppressor does not slow down the bullet. It doesn't slow down the bullet. It may damper some of the noise from the firing of the powder burning and all that kind of stuff. But if that bullet is tracking greater than 1,100 feet per second when it comes out of the end of that suppressor, it's going to go crack because it broke the sound barrier. And see, liberals don't understand that. So if you use a suppressor and you use subsonic ammunition, meaning the ammunition is traveling less than the speed of sound, it only baffles it, but you still hear it. But for some reason, they consider that dangerous. Matter of fact, suppressors are illegal, completely, unequivocally illegal in California and in Delaware. Who came up with that? And it doesn't make anything safer. It's just control. They just want to control things. So, all right. When I'm going to show you all this. When I pulled out my my ruler, where's my ruler? Right here. When I pulled out my ruler, guess what came out with it? Y'all look. And the Taylor County folks are going to love this. Look what came out with it. Can you see that? I don't know if you can. Will it focus on it? Y'all look. My Bone Theater, Butler, Georgia, admission $1 ticket. How many people in Taylor County, I got to let it refocus, but how many people from Taylor County have themselves a Bone Theater ticket? Maybe it's priceless. I don't know. I got one. All right. Man, I failed miserably. Um, I should just go ahead and wrap up. No, I'm not. I'm not. It's my podcast. Do what I want. Last thing I'm going to talk about is all the stuff that's come out here recently about and I'd say tragic. I'm not. That's not downplaying it. That's just telling the truth. It is absolutely tragic about that stabbing of that athlete, teenage boy in Texas, and the guy that stabbed him. What's his damn name? Carmelo Anthony stabbed another guy, and now they found there was more video footage, and now they're interviewing folks, and they found out that what he said ain't exactly what happened. Imagine that. So, not going to get deep into the whole case because it's still being tried, and I'm still learning stuff. But what I understand is the boy lied, and now the truth's coming out. And it was unwarranted, completely, utterly. I can't think of much that would warrant it. Calling somebody an N-word does not constitute I'm going to kill you. If somebody calls me cracker, somebody calls me honky, somebody calls me redneck, I'm okay. Why? Because I was raised where sticks and stones break my bones, but words will never harm me. That is valuable. It's just words. I don't allow people's words to control my behavior, because then they're in control and you're not. But anyway, stabbed that boy, killed him within minutes, and now the truth's coming out. And here's what I find, and I knew this was going to come. I knew it. I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but I knew this was going to come. Kind of like that BLM crap with George Floyd. That family got them a spokesperson, and evidently he's a lawyer of some sort. Anyway, I'm going to tell you who his is. He's over here on the other screen. But they started that GoFundMe crap. They raised over $500,000, and now the people that funded that and paid into it, gosh, imagine this. They realize they've been hoodooed, and now they want their money back. And they're like, wait a minute. We believed y'all. We believed y'all that he was innocent. We believed y'all that says that, whatever was justified. Well, it was not. So I'm going to go over here and let me see if I can find the article. The guy that's representing, I guess the spokesperson, he was already on TV representing his family. He's an active minister. And his name is, I say this because it's printed on the article. They say he's a minister. I don't believe that for a second. Minister Dominique Alexander. He is the appointed spokesperson for the murderer. And he's already been on TV, and he loves being on TV. But you know what? All you got to do is just go, well, who is this guy? Well, I'm going to read to you from the New York Post. This is the New York Post. The activist that represents the killer, the accused killer, Carmelo Anthony, that old boy got a lengthy criminal record that includes a conviction. Y'all hear me? A conviction. The guy that's a minister that's supposedly representing him, that hoodooed all these people and is giving all this money, he's been convicted on child abuse charges and allegations of domestic violence from a former romantic partner. The appointed spokesperson, let me see, has previously been charged with multiple felonies for which he served almost zero prison time. Imagine that. Yep. Says that back in 2009, he was arrested for shaking and hitting a 2-year-old child. And then in 2011, he was convicted and received, he was convicted on charges, I guess, of abuse of something, but received 2 years probation in a Dallas court. And then, however, in 2016, he was sentenced to 2 years in prison for multiple violations of his probation. And 2017, he was arrested on felony charges, property between $2,500 and $30,000, garnering possible sentence of 20 years. And so, y'all, you know what? The woke are stupid. They're stupid. So the kid that allegedly stabs this other guy, his family picks this guy to be the spokesperson and represent them. Can't make it up. So the old boy, Dominique Alexander, get this now. He is the leader. This is just happening. This is like 2-3 day old news. This guy, Dominique Alexander, he is the leader of a coalition of North Texas religious leaders. You know what? If there's any religious leader that's associated with this, trust me, you ain't following the Christian faith. But it says the coalition of North Texas religious leaders and parents has joined a legal effort led by none other than the minister, Mr. Dominique Alexander, to stop the state's new law requiring the Ten Commandments to be displayed in public classrooms. What a noble cause. Wow. The suit, initiated by Mr. Dominique Alexander, known for advocating on behalf of a suspect in a Hope profile. We just talked about that. So Mr. Dominique Alexander, who loves to be on TV, is now the leader, and he wants to sue the state of Texas, and he wants to stop the Ten Commandments from being posted in United States of America classrooms. Wow. What a noble cause there, Dominique. You keep it going there, brother. Yep. Still don't know what Chicken's Beddings was, but you keep going. Sometimes I wonder, when God looks down on us today, what does he think? It's got to break his heart. It's got to make him sad. But he felt the same way, I guess, about Sodom and Gomorrah. Yeah. All right, gal, that's all I got, man. I know you too wish you had a Bone Theater ticket. All right, yeah, I'm almost 50 minutes. That's way too long for a podcast. I got to do better, and maybe I will. I don't know. Hey, I want to thank everybody again for listening. I hope y'all have a blessed day. Stay cool as you can. Remember, talk to your friends. If there's anybody locally who would like to get into beekeeping, I'm glad to help them. I'm just going to be the good neighbor, and I'm going to bow out, and I'm not going to argue with anybody that doesn't know about bees. I'm not going to argue. So I was going to say, okay, I'll get rid of them. It's as simple as that. I'm not happy about it, but I want to be a good neighbor. So we'll just leave it at that. All right, folks, that is all I have today. Again, God bless y'all. Mike Coker, let's go to work, buddy. Bye. Sickle.